Yo, what's popping? So we're back here with the Toronto Defiant Malders. Just two of us this time, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, Frags is here. Hey, man.
Hey, we're the last two Defiant fans.
Yeah, there's no more. The stadium behind me that's gonna have that the Defiant are gonna host. There's gonna be just two Defiant fans in there, just us, and no Defiant players, probably.
Yep, no Defiant players. That we'll get onto that later, but yeah,
So,
no Defiant players.
just a recap of how this stage went for Defiant, right? They went 2-4. They lost to London and Florida, and Gladiators, and Shock, right, in their thing. But they did beat the Paris Eternal and the Washington Justice. They beat Paris 3-2 though, so not quite.
Those some crazy victories right there.
That goes crazy. And then of course in the tournament they got 3-0'd by Shanghai and then lost to Houston 3-2, which is actually a decent series. But maybe not the Defiant victory we're looking for that stage, perhaps.
No. Nope. Typical Defiant season where we do well in the first stage or first tournament, and that well as in like
we made it.
We won some games and we look competitive, and then we go into the next stage and disappoint and suck, and the cycle continues.
Yeah, it all started off too in the first week. We just didn't have a meta shift. It was really bad. We were just spamming the Winston, the oh my Discord is bugging. Hold on, what the hell? Okay. It was like we were playing the Echo for 0. We were on Sojourn at least, right? Or we were on Soldier.
Finale Echo when we have
Although it's so bad.
Like I don't know what, like although there's a flex CPS, you should pick that up. Anyways, yeah, we were old meta.
For 0 reason. For 2, and then we just blew away 2 winnable games. And then at that point, the best we could have hoped for was 2-2 after that first week.
Yeah.
So sad. And it's actually what we predicted in the last one, because we said if we lose these 2 games, it's messed up for the rest of the stage. And it was, but we still made the tournament barely. I remember saying
we made the tournament because other teams suck ass.
Yeah, because other teams were bad. Because 2-4 should not.
Thank God we have Washington on our side.
So true. So true.
One thing we can count on is the Washington helping Defiant somehow make the playoffs.
I love it. Good. Washington's not even a real team, man. They're just like, they're working for the government. They're working for the league to make sure Toronto gets in. They're going to be the reason if they make the tournament.
Yeah, it's so desperate for sponsorship money that they're just taking bribes from the Toronto Defiant.
So sad. But yeah. So what else is next? I guess the tank situation. We can talk about that now because we talked about how bad Finale is at Echo specifically. My Discord's still fucking. What the hell? It's like bugging. Okay, whatever. We run it.
We run it scuffed. It's okay.
I'm just not going to tab back in. But yeah, so the tank situation. Why was MuZe on Zarya at the tournament? What do you think that reason was?
We were in a call while watching this, and I was losing my mind because we had like Houston is playing this Doom comp, right? And they're good at it. Yep. And then we finally realized, holy shit, this Zarya character counters this shit, and it's looking good. We're like shit. We have a way back in this series. And then I'm thinking, okay, last time we played, like last tournament in the playoffs, we played Dallas on Lijiang, and Hoppa went crazy. We didn't win that map, but Hoppa played pretty good individually, I thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so we saw the Zarya was working. Let's go back to Hoppa. I'm finally advocating for Hoppa once. And Hoppa does not come back in. MuZe is in, and then we see him lock Zarya off rip. I think, right? It was either off rip or after first fight he went Zarya.
It was really early.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? Why isn't Hoppa in? It's like, okay, maybe it was just for that map. They have something planned for the next map, surely, right? No, it's Zarya again, and MuZe is there. And you're just sitting there thinking, MuZe isn't like playing terribly on Zarya, but you're just thinking to yourself, how winnable is this map? If Hoppa, who just won the last map for us on Zarya, right? Or one of the last maps, how winnable is it if he's back in and playing the Zarya on the map he's good at that you have clearly scrimmed on him with? And then I'm also thinking, what the fuck's going on? Is MuZe and Hoppa both splitting scrim time for Lijiang Tower? What is going on here? Like, I'm just confused. What is, like, we lost KDG and got MuZe Zarya. Why? What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense. I think it's like they recognize that they want to play Zarya, but they were too scared to commit to it, and they were like, "Oh, if it doesn't work, we can fall back on something." But that just like they're playing like they've already lost, kind of.
Well, they're like it's like they're playing. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like if we're confident about if we're going for the Zarya, we put the Zarya player in. It's just so simple to me in my head. And
yeah,
like I don't know what the comms are like because then it's like, oh MuZe, I guess you're on Zarya, and then I don't know. I know on teams I've played on when someone has to then like force swap onto a character they're not comfortable on just because they think it might work. The team morale maybe goes down because you're like, shit, there's another guy.
We have MuZe on Zarya.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Hisu is smiling a lot when he sees MuZe swap to Zarya. That's I just don't get it.
He's like, oh yeah. No, it's so weird though. Like it's literally like they said Zarya. This is the play here.
Yeah.
And then they're like, MuZe, yo.
A month ago. Like, I hate when teams in Owl, this is all teams, like, so many teams, I feel like, fall into this trap where something, like, that they maybe didn't think was going to work 100%, like, when they came into the match, they weren't like, oh, we're going to counter strat that way, but it ends up working. Mm-hmm. And then they fall back to their garbage strats that they were getting hard rolled as. I don't get it. You saw how effective it was. Houston did not have an answer. No. And then you don't put him in. I don't get it.
I think that's like kind of a coaching issue. It has to be, right? Like it doesn't like the player. It's not like MuZe said, "Okay, guys, I'm just gonna go to Zarya here." I was supposed to be on the Winston, but really though,
he might have. I don't know because
maybe
if he's in, then the coach, I would imagine. No way, Moby Dick was like, "Yeah, MuZe, you're playing Zarya this map."
No, but I think he might have.
Aside.
Because he's like, oh, Zarya's good, but if it doesn't work, then you have to swap. And Hoppa can't swap, so that's why they want to play MuZe. But they're playing like they've already lost in the composition, though. If you're doing that,
they're going into the round losing,
expecting to lose. Yeah,
they're expecting to swap off of it, which is then why are you playing it at all?
Exactly. They didn't commit to it. They have to commit to a strat, and it was kind of the entire stage because they were on the old one, then they played Doomfist for a single week.
Which then you somehow had like a goated Doomfist, and then it disappeared.
It's gone.
Play it
basically, yeah. And then we're on like the standard stuff. What everyone else is playing, everyone else is playing. We might as well play it now, basically, kind of thing.
Yep.
With the Winston enjoyer because he's not a ball enjoyer as much, right?
Yep.
And it's just there's no commitment. They're not committing to anything. You get the Zarya, you don't commit to it, even whenever you figure it out. It doesn't make any sense.
We were one of the teams that didn't even commit to double flex support much at all.
No, like, even though it looked good.
Churong had a good Zen, and like I was thinking that Twilight. I was thinking going into this stage that always your better like Zen player should be on the Zen. But we saw a lot of teams have success actually doing what Toronto did, which was have your proper flex support player on the Ana. Mm-hmm. And then if you had a good Zen main support, you're chilling, right?
Yeah.
And we did have that, but we didn't commit to it. We played a lot of Lucio. We even played Lucio Moira at times. And I was like, what the hell are we doing? We have two good, like flex support is hyper meta right now. And we're just not picking those characters. And I don't get it.
So weird. It is very much a coaching. I think it's still a coaching problem. It just doesn't, something's not right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we can talk about how we feel about how the players performed specifically. So, like, Hisu, right? Toronto can't win unless he's the best player in the lobby, essentially. It's just not going to happen, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, actually. I didn't want to agree with that. Like, going into this year, if you told me Hisu's going to be your only performer on this team and you're going to live or die by his performances, I would have actually maybe laughed. Because I didn't have much, like, hype around Aldo in Finale. But you look at the other pieces that we had, right? Hoppa had a really good year last year, and off tanks were supposed to be really good. Twilight, everyone was like, this guy's the GOAT. This guy's like literally top 3 from Overwatch 1, is what I was hearing in my circles and stuff. And then Churong had so much hype as the rookie. He was like the main support to pick up coming out of contenders, right?
One of them. It
was like him
and Dame. Yeah. That's the two that come to my mind.
Churong was bid over from what we heard.
Yeah.
So it's like, how the hell do how are we still where we were last year? We're living, breathing, and dying by Hisu. What is good? Like how is that possible? Like Twilight's just not showing up, and I don't know why.
No, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like Chorong's doing, like I don't think Chorong's a problem at all, right? Chorong's very
doing
solid.
his job. He's a main support. Main support's it's hard to like stand out on main support, and when he's played the Zen, he's played it pretty well.
Yeah, he's been very good. But yeah, Twilight is like, yeah, he has like the highest sleeps per 10 or something, but like as a player,
he also has the most sleeps shot out.
Yeah, so yeah, he's just spam shooting. Yeah. He does have both.
The highest like sleep darts used and highest like hit, I guess.
Which is good, like, but
that's good, I guess.
But how impactful are the sleeps that he's hitting compared to like who's a player that was hitting all of them? Like Shu. Like Shu was hitting the sleep darts. The impactful ones.
Finn hits good
yeah.
sleeps. But I don't know. Like Twilight, people like to say, like, you look at Reddit and they're like, oh, his stats are so good. And like even like Overwatch League puts out like their Twitter poll.
Their polls,
like,
yeah.
Who's the best flex support like this year so far? And people like, how does Twilight have half the vote? How is this even possible?
Twilight shouldn't even be on the board.
If you're watching, yeah, he shouldn't even be on the board. He's not. He's just getting carried by like last year and the year before and the year before that. His name recognition, which that's reasonable, right? It's reasonable like coming into this year to like hype him up that much. But my God, has he ever like not been? He's been underwhelming this year.
I agree.
Knowing what we knew he was, he's been underwhelming
for his potential and like what we expected.
And we saw glimpses of that in the playoffs. He actually turned up on like a map or two, like going for some crazy like this guy is. He was in the front line. He's just frontline frags. He was out there like Majed, but actually good, and like landing crazy nades like this. I watched him. I remember this one fight on Dorado particularly. Yeah. Dorado third. He runs through the mega like defense high ground down the double staircase. He's way ahead of everyone else. Everyone else is still on the high ground. He's sleep dart and nade, both of his cooldowns to get him out of jail. He's just tossing them out offensively, and he doesn't die.
That was
followed up.
Yeah, that was Defiant's best like look of almost the season. Yeah, it was so that was the best fight. That was the best fight. That specific fight against Houston, best fight.
Yeah.
So whenever Twilight does perform how we expect him to, they look like a good team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like you said, Hisu, they're living and dying by Hisu.
By Hisu, yep. And even then, like Finale, we talked about how the Echo's not there, although is missing, even though he should be.
Where'd he go?
Yeah, no one knows. Where is he? He's in Texas, right? He's in Texas. Someone check on him.
He's still playing at the Optic Gaming facility, if I'm not mistaken.
Or we need to check on him. MV. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so weird that like with how like Finale Tracer is really good, and even his Genji, I would say. Has looked solid.
I think so.
But I wouldn't like him off of that. And the fact that we didn't try Aldo off of those characters is concerning.
I mean, what would have Aldo even played? Sojourn?
He plays.
Did we even? We didn't have a Genji look, really, did we?
Well, we played a little bit of Genji, I think, with the Doomfist.
No, but we were mostly Sojourn or Ashe. Dude, Hisu, I think, needed to be on Ashe more, actually.
That's a good take. That's a really good take.
He was on Sojourn a bit too much. His Ashe is so good. And it's like, why isn't he on it?
I do think his Ashe is a bit better. That's just NA, like, not believing in the Ashe as much. And I mean, like, I guess the Sojourn teams won in the end, because you didn't see Potty on the Ashe at all, right? And you didn't see...
Yeah, and you see Ons. Ons didn't come into play. Ons played the Ashe a little, but
he's there for the Widow.
He came for the Widow.
Yeah, so you saw the good teams, I guess, not use the Ashe. Atlanta, too. The best team that played Ashe was, like... Who was... What is it? Philly? I guess it was Philly.
I still think the Ashe was really good.
No, I agree. It was really good.
Shai played Ashe, didn't he?
Yeah, but Philly made it further.
I guess.
So... but yeah, I think definitely would have been nice to see some more Ashe, especially just like for this team. It's like we're not building this team. What they're playing is not like meant for them, and when it is, they don't commit to it. Kind of.
I think Ashe Tracer has just like works better than Sojourn Tracer, and vice versa. Like I'd rather Sojourn Genji. I feel like together as a pair, and then Ashe Tracer. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me being.
I think it's just player dependent.
It might just be player preference, but
But yeah, is anyone else? Though? Oh, I guess we need to. We already talked about MuZe Hoppa, and I think Hoppa's done what I about expected. To be honest, this is how this is what I thought Hoppa would be.
He comes in and he plays his Circuit
Yeah.
Royale, you know, and then occasionally he's brought in on a weird map, and you're like, why is this guy in? And then like other times you're like, why isn't he in? Because once again, MuZe is playing Zarya. What is he doing on that character? God forbid, if I see MuZe on Sigma this stage, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Who's their Junker Queen? Is it MuZe or Hoppa?
Who's their JQ?
I think Hoppa.
I feel like it's probably Hoppa because he's got a damage background. He's like just a flexible player, and I could see it being MuZe. I could also see a stupid world where we are swapping between our Junker Queen players.
Yep.
Because that seems like just a plausible thing for Defiant to end up doing to us.
No, but what's actually been happening is all those been in a lab, and he's been cooking up.
All those been playing Junker Queen the whole time. Or we're gonna roll out again this stage on last stage's meta. We're gonna come out and not even know Junker Queen exists. We're like, that new character? That's interesting.
Okay, but now we can talk about maybe your favorite point about how there's no one smiling on our roster. Yeah, there are just neutral faces.
I had you write down this topic for our list, and it's just that every time, like, it's so apparent at Hawaii too, but I thought this before the Hawaii tournament, but it's so apparent when you look at the player cams. Spill on yourself.
Yeah.
Don't worry, no one noticed. What I did notice though at the Hawaii tournament is you had so many memorable moments of players like looking out to each other, like, you know, you think of Pelican, you think of what's his name, Lastro, you think of Reiner, you think of Kaluge, you think of Finn, like just being happy and smiling, you think of Ons just dabbing away, right? And you look at Defiant when they're on the stage, they're not even like, they're not looking over and waving. Nope. The only thing you see at the end with in terms of interaction between the teams is people like hugging Hisu on the opposite team because they're like, I feel so bad for you. But like there's no one on that team that brings the energy that is like, there's no ralliers, there's no one there like a Reiner or a Finn that are like there to like be the jokester and lighten the mood. No one is smiling. Like, you don't have a Piggy either. Like, I don't like Piggy's play this year that much, but my god, he comes into the server and he's like, he's just laughing and having a good time, and it's like, where are those guys on our team? We don't have them.
We just don't.
I don't even know who would be on that team. Like, who would have to be?
I don't know who'd have to be.
I feel like it
have to be MuZe, right?
Maybe Hoppa or MuZe. Yeah, I think it has to be either.
Because MuZe is like known to be a like an impact, like a character. Like
we've seen, you know? We've seen MuZe have a good time last year on Glads. It's like he's not having a good time here. He got the salary increase and he's like, I'm not having a good time anymore.
Yeah.
And then Hoppa, we've seen Hoppa have fun in the past, I think. I feel like Hoppa, I maybe remember from like season 1 and 2.
When he was on the Tracer.
Yeah, he's like, he's locked up in jail now, in Sigma jail, Circuit Royale jail. Him in space, just locked up. But no, it's like, who's there to smile? Who's there to bring energy when they're down in a series? This team looks turbo depressed. They win a map and they're not even getting up and smiling. I don't get it. Like, they are neutral face the whole time. They're a neutral face emoji, and I don't like. They need to smile if they want to win. Even if they want to lose and not lose so much when they lose, you know, if they want their mental to be intact. Like, even New York, dude, New York's getting the shit kicked out of them this season. And you'll see Yaki, like, getting happy when he gets, like, kills, right?
Yeah.
You see, what are some other shite teams? Like, Aspire's had some funny, like, moments on the cam, right? Where he's, like, smiling or goofing around. And the Titans haven't even won a match. It's like, wait, how? And it seems to be a consistent theme. Like, last year, it's stupid too, because what is happening at the Defiant facility? Because last year, Lastro on cam wasn't smiling much at all either. And he's look at him on Houston, and then look at the year before on Valiant.
Different entire energy, huge different energy.
What is happening at the Defiant facility? Overactive Media is like putting frowning pills in their coffee or something. Like,
it's in the water.
What is up with Toronto water? Like, I basically drink Toronto water all the time, and I seem to be
You're smiling
right now. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going
I
on.
think it comes from like the top down, like the leadership of the Defiant, whatever it is. I thought like, oh, you're not smiling with one coach, get a new coach, maybe you start to smile, because it branches from the top down. You see it all the time in different like sports and stuff.
Yeah.
Where you bring a coach, they bring in like the life into the game and all that, and it's just not here. It's such a concern. It just is. I can't. Like, this is legit the most neutral team in the league.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
We've played like Tom and I have played on teams together, and when the mood is down, that's when you lose the most. When the mood's up, like, people are happy to play and are happy to like do things together. When the mood's down and no one's like talking or smiling, no one's cracking jokes, you're gonna lose probably.
You're gonna lose, and you're not gonna have fun when you lose at all.
Yep.
Sad times. All right, now let's go to a less depressing and a more smiling topic, and we'll talk about if we could bring one Defiant player back they've had at their peak to this current roster, who would it be?
Dude, it's so stupid, but I'm gonna say Lastro. My point, even though he didn't, I think Lastro's like off the top of my head. I want to say like Lastro because he's having a good time. And he's that flexible piece that you could bring in. Even though Chorong's doing fine, I don't know. I feel like having like a really good Zen, because you saw Houston thrive a lot from the Zen.
Yeah.
I think having flexibility in your backline, like a lot of teams have, or there's a couple teams that have 3 backliners, right?
Yeah, there's a few.
Their rotations have been, for the most part,
Gladiators. There's one that comes to mind.
One. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I think Lastro comes to mind. If we want a real smiler, like gods, if we want a real smiler, we could have gods, but no.
No.
I don't think any of the NA, like,
I don't know if you could bring any of them in.
Would really work with this current roster. That's why I kind of say Lastro. I mean, Nice is kind of killing it. We've seen Nice do like cool things in Korean contenders right now on the Genji. But maybe that's only good for the Genji meta, right? So it's like, how beneficial is that really? Mm-hmm. Maybe it is a lot. Genji's been pretty good this year.
Yeah, my pick would definitely be one of the flex DPS, whether it be Ivy, Stellar, or Nice. I feel like even though we already have 2 of them, we don't, because all those locked up. And it wouldn't be, and none of them like need to be that Tracer, because Finale would be the Tracer, right? Even though Stellar has like a sick Tracer, even though he's not even playing Overwatch anymore, right?
Yeah, he's Valorant.
Yeah, he's retired, but I don't care. Peak Stellar was sick. I don't know. I think maybe Ivy is something, even though he's also retired. Why did Toronto make everyone retire? What's going on?
Would we want Sato back?
Maybe.
Like, is
Peak Sato was kind of Chad.
Peak Sato on Philly, like, if
was better than MuZe, I think.
Yeah, Peak Sato on Philly was like way better than any performance MuZe has given.
Yeah,
and he's hyper flexible. Sato is a super flexible guy. Right?
I can see Sato being a good shout. Is he playing now? I don't think so, right?
I think he retired.
Bro, what's going on? We're taking the smile out of their lives entirely. Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't take, like, I'm thinking of more from last year, from the 2021 roster. You'd take Chorong over Ansoon J.
Yep,
even though Ansoon J wasn't that bad.
No, Ansoon J was good.
But you'd take Chorong over him.
Yeah. I'm not taking Aztec.
What was their damage? Yeah. I mean, Aztec, I mean, I wouldn't take him, but he surprised me how well he's been playing on Titans. Like, in terms of his individual Zen performances, I think have been pretty good.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
You wouldn't take him.
I wouldn't take him.
That's a downgrade. You wouldn't take Michelle.
No.
I think maybe you forgot. Maybe we all forgot that Michelle was there. You wouldn't take
I tried to forget.
I don't know. We haven't has Toronto had a solid off tank?
Like, Hoppa's been our best.
An outstanding off tank.
It was Envy, and it was Gods, and then it was
Gods, Nevix. Nevix.
And then Nevix and Michelle, I think, was the only.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, the Hoppa's been our best off tank.
That's
total.
probably the most criminal thing. I mean, reflecting, we're supposed to pick like the best piece to bring back. It's like the best piece that we've just been missing. I feel like I'm recognizing is an off tank that like really pounds. But then again, Overwatch 2,
You don't need one
we
if you have a good tank.
we need a hyperflex tank
Yeah.
now. And I think we're maybe struggling on the old model. We're kind of playing the old model because even Glads, you're seeing Reiner like
Reiner's just that guy.
Space barely gets playtime, and like Space was an elite player. You look at Shanghai, Void was an elite. Like Void was, I watched your tier list video. You put Void like at the fucking bottom.
He's just not. He's just not doing anything.
That made me really sad. That made me really sad to see Void down there with Dawn and Vistola and False.
It's true.
Itzal. Why is he in the same tier as Itzal? That's not a
negative value. Genuinely negative value, I think.
No, but it's true because you want the hyper flexible tanks that will come in and do everything and be able to switch on a dime and also can shot call, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they're trying to make MuZe into that. I don't know.
Maybe, but I don't know. MuZe has never had like you say that main tank mechanics. I feel like MuZe is actually like main tank mechanics, if that makes sense.
I think that most of the main tanks coming up in the last 2 years, like if you came into the league last year as a main tank, you probably have good mechanics.
No, yeah.
Like it's not like old school main tanks, like your freaking reinforces that you can't. I don't know why.
That was a deep cut. Okay.
I don't know why I'm throwing shade at reinforce, but I don't think it. But when I'm thinking of old school main tanks, that like you don't expect them to come out and go crazy on a damage character, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think you convinced me that Sato might be the wave instead of adding a third flex DPS. And I don't know. It's like you say Lastro, but it's like. I would rather bring back peak Twilight than peak Lastro.
Yeah, can we pick Twilight from this year and say we want his peak from Shock? Does that work?
That's a good one. I think that works.
Yeah, Sato would be interesting because I think Sato's also but he didn't smile last year.
No, he didn't smile last year, but
the year before, but he didn't smile last year.
I don't know. God. Smiling's out of the price range, I think.
Yeah, money can't buy happiness, guys. If there's one thing you take away from this, is money cannot buy happiness.
Oh, bruh. Alright, but now we'll do the last thing where we will eventually get to do we think they'll make their own tournament, but we'll do a little like power rank. Where do you think they are at the power rankings right now? What is your general guideline?
12.
12?
Like anywhere from
12?
Anywhere, if you're doing a global rankings, which is where I just quickly put mine together, I think they hover somewhere from 10 to 12 is my feeling about them right now. I feel like there's a solid handful of teams that will just always beat them, and there's a handful of teams that they will pretty much beat. They are mid. Once again,
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, Toronto Defiant are mid.
Whoa! No way!
Insane.
Yeah, their talent is so good they'll beat the bottom guys, like for sure.
They shouldn't. It was close this stage, but I don't think they should lose to Paris, Vancouver, New York, Justice. And I mean, this is between you. I mean, you have a different opinion, but I think they should beat Boston, player for player.
For player, but that's not how the game works. Unfortunately,
again, I guess if we're going player for player, Justice should probably be better.
Probably,
but I don't know. I don't think it's dumb because I think they should be better than teams like. If you're looking at player for player again, I think they should be better than teams like London, teams like Mayhem. They should be better than those teams, but they just aren't, and it's just confusing to me. Where did you have them ranked?
I have them 14 across like all regions. Ooh. And I have them below like Boston. I have them below Chengdu. Yeah, I basically in NA I just have them above like the bottom 3 teams, and Washington is the only teams I think that they are currently better than. Based on what we saw.
They're bottom 5 in NA.
They're bottom 5 NA, yeah. Because I feel like Boston actually have like a good system, even though they don't have the player. Like their whole is bigger than the sum of the parts, right? In Boston, with how they're playing. But Toronto, it's like less. and that's like really important.
On a side note, if Dallas keeps playing Guerrero,
we
could see another team below Defiant.
True.
You know?
Possible. I don't know if that's true though. I feel like Dallas still would beat Defiant.
Yeah. This is just some copium, maybe some hopium as well.
Yeah, but if we look at their schedule to the side, this is like, it's brand new record, right? Nothing matters going to this tournament except for the games in this qualifier.
Yep.
So first week, they play Vancouver and Atlanta. So there should be a win and a loss.
Yeah, I don't see them beating Vancouver unless King ends up... King isn't even eligible for the first week, is he?
I can check real quick, but I don't think so.
It doesn't matter. I was going to say, I don't think it even matters if he's eligible. I think they should just pound Vancouver. Unless Mir like does some crazy... Unless they have...
Mir's
it
not that
really
guy.
depends on... Maybe
meta and stuff too.
Maybe the Junker Queen meta clicks for Vancouver.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I've seen... Watching some of the... like. If it was mostly Junker Queen Brawl with the Brig Lucio,
I don't know if it will be.
Watching some contenders, there are some pretty fucking bad players. I'm noticing that they're just getting away with like a really bad meta, or like a meta that just like you're just able to exist until you damage player. Like that's what it feels like. It feels like both teams just kind of exist until a damage player kills someone. I don't know. Maybe I'm not watching close enough, but. Anyways,
I mean, we don't know how it'll be anyway. But yeah, they beat Titans.
Titans they beat.
They beat Titans in a 60 PS meta. I don't care. Whatever. And then Atlanta, I can't see. I don't think we'll beat Atlanta. I think Hawk will pick up Junker Queen better than Hoppa or MuZe, no matter what.
Yes.
So, and then right there, even if Junker Queen's not the meta.
If Sojourn's still meta, Kai is going to clown on Hisu. Oh, I mean Hisu's good, but like Kai is just more consistent.
Yeah, the backline. Well, the backline actually, I think there could be an argument there, but UV should be UV clears.
I mean, actually, we have a really thinking about that. If
we do have a good backline.
Twilight was really good at Brig when he played it for Shock.
Yeah, if it is Brig Lucio, I don't hate our Brig Lucio.
I rate our backline a lot.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't think we beat Atlanta. I think I give that like a 70-30 actually, because it's Atlanta beginning of stage, and they sometimes.
Well, it's not even the beginning of stage; just that they don't. It feels like they don't try as much in the qualifiers, like legitimately.
Yeah.
So like maybe
enough to get there. They try enough to get there, and then.
Yeah. So they could troll it, maybe, but we'll see. Yeah. And then anyway, week 16, we played Dallas and the Gladiators. So there's that Dallas matchup.
I think Dallas will be probably. You know what? I was talking shit about Dallas if they keep running Guerrero, but I wasn't even thinking about the meta. If the meta is this like brawly hive mind, which it should be, Dallas should be very good at it. And I don't want to listen. This might be just like. I mean, this is a stupid ass reason, but I bumped into Fearless a couple times playing in the beta 2.
No,
and that guy was. A monster. That guy was a monster on Junker Queen. That guy was taking everyone down. He just ran in and just killed everyone single-handedly. So Fearless stonks up after a quick play encounter.
No way. So you think we're losing to Dallas?
I think it's a very likely.
I think it is very likely.
Unless Hoppa or MuZe is a freak on the Junker Queen, or Finale is like although is a goat on Genji.
And this is like week 2 Dallas, so this is like they are starting to actually understand the comp that they're gonna one trick, right? It's not week 1 Dallas.
Yep.
So yeah,
that leaves us with Glads, which
is just a loss.
I don't think we win at all.
I don't think we get it. We get one map. Maybe we did last time. We look good one map.
Get our first map in.
Get our first map in and call it a day.
First map.
So looking at a 1-3 after the first 2 weeks.
Glads is scary in this meta too, potentially, because they have skewed Funny Astro. Can you imagine Shu being on the bench? And
That would be hilarious.
Very viable. That's like actually real. That's a real thing that you would want to do, is Shu on the bench, because you have skewed Funny Astro.
And it's even better because you're not even scared if you have to swap off to a flex support, because skewed is still
Skewed is still like above average.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Gladiators are gonna be scary.
And Reiner's just gonna be a monster on Junker Queen for sure.
Oh, you know it.
It just seems like the character for him.
Yeah, fully agree.
And Kev can play anything.
I think the Gladiators are good for every meta. I don't see a single meta where the Gladiators are like, oh no, I wonder if they'll be able to do this.
This is depressing about their schedule. So we're 1-3 right now.
Yeah, and then we go into week 17 and play the Boston Uprising.
That's the real show match. That's it.
That's an important match.
Boston, we're not at our own tournament.
But here's the thing: Punk is Australian, so he has Junker Queen buff. So now what?
He's got Australian buff.
You got Australian buff on the Junker Queen.
Is this where all of your Boston stonks have been?
Yeah,
going?
This is where it goes right here.
The Junker Queen is Australian.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Defiant has. They have.
What do they have?
Cool color scheme.
Yeah. Gamer color scheme. Not a big fan of the blue and yellow.
Their away skins are nice.
That's so true. I actually think.
Go ahead.
I think the trajectory of Toronto at this point is either going high or going low, right? And I think Boston are going to be. I think Boston are going to be trending upwards. Regardless, but it's just a matter of if
Seeker. You're really big on Seeker.
No, I'm not that big on Seeker. I don't think he'll actually play that much. But I don't know. It's like this is just hopium. But like, I think Boston were better at the end of last stage, but I think Toronto are still like should be better at the end of next stage.
I'll give this win to Defiant.
I will give it to Defiant. But I'm worried.
I think it's a 60-40, and that's not good.
It is a close one. And then you're looking at a 2-3 or a 1-4, which would be very sad.
Wait, why? Isn't there another game?
No, there is one more game, which is the London Spitfire.
And they're just gonna run Reinhardt and be better than every other team because Reinhardt beats Junker Queen.
Probably.
For scissors. Maybe that's not true.
I don't know if Junker Queen's gonna be hard meta. I don't think she will be hard meta. I don't think it'll be the same.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that Reinhardt is worse than Junker Queen in Brawl. I think that London might find a way to be better. Or Hottie's just a freak on the Queen. But
yeah, sure.
Or Poco's a freak on the Queen.
Yeah.
But I think
London should win. London should win.
London should win. So
and suddenly we're looking at a 2-4.
And that might be a 1-5 even. Because we were unsure about Boston.
So basically, what it comes down to is
the players will be, if you're going to the homestand, the players will be there to sign things for you. They won't have any match commitments. They won't have to scrim. They don't have to warm up. They will be there. They won't be happy about it. Because remember, they don't smile. It's in their contract to frown. But they will be there. And we'll get to sit with them. And then we get to watch good Overwatch.
That's important.
Are those the takeaways? Is that what
you're
going to say? Is that the important
thing? Yeah, I was also going to say we have to steal a win from Dallas or London in order to make it. Is the bottom line.
And not lose to Boston.
Yeah, or Atlanta fucks off, basically, in the first week.
Or Glad's...
No. No. Not that one.
Not that one, yeah.
So, in conclusion, we have determined that Toronto will not make their own tournament.
That's what we're leaning towards, and it's very sad, but that's what you get.
That is what we get.
That's what you get. We know what we sign up for when we load into this call with Maple Leaf Gardens and New Queen Street as our backgrounds. We know what we get. We get disappointment.
And going 3-3 doesn't even get you in, like guaranteed.
No, because there's
no
bonus points. There's no bonus points.
It'd be like London last stage, maybe, or the first stage where they go 3-3 and don't make it.
Is that?
That's how it happened. London were 3-3 and they didn't make it last. They kick off Flash.
That's true.
Just like that.
Well,
but yeah,
I think is that
I think that's it. I think that's it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on our takes on the Defiant in general. Will they make their own tournament? Will we get to see them on the stage or just in the crowd, sharing a drink with Kisu, buying him one maybe?
Yeah. Well, one thing I guess to look forward to, as my camera dies, we will probably, or we will be going to the homestand regardless.
Yeah, bought my ticket.
And I don't know if, Tom, you were going to market this, but I think we plan to do a roundtable there.
Yeah.
And so that should be pretty hype. So look forward to that.
Real. Keep your eyes out.
As my cam is just
okay.
dead.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good time to say. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
Have yourself a good one.
Yeah, see you later.
Deuces.